Close your eyes for a moment and feel the rhythm of the wind sweeping across vast, untouched plains, carrying the scent of earth and water, of stone and distant forests. Let the soft murmur of a river guide your thoughts, tracing a path through hills and valleys that have existed far longer than any city, any road, any map you know. Hear the gentle crackle of fire in a small shelter, the quiet hum of life as families stir, preparing for a day defined by the slow, deliberate dance of survival. The morning sun stretches across mountains and meadows, painting shadows that seem to move with their own secret purpose. And in this stillness, you can sense the heartbeat of a world before walls, before markets, before towers of stone and metal rose into the sky. Let yourself drift into that calm, noticing the subtle sounds, the flapping wings of birds, the distant call of an animal, the whisper of leaves in the wind, and feel how fragile and magnificent life was in a time when every step, every glance, every choice carried weight. Breathe in the openness of a land unmarked by cities, untouched by machines, and let the quiet patience of those who walked these plains so long ago guide you. They lived in harmony with danger and discovery, with seasons that dictated their rhythms and skies that told them stories, and the secrets they carried are hidden in the traces they left behind. Soon, we will walk alongside them, uncovering the whispers of their lives, the mysteries of their tools, the sparks of creativity that flickered in caves and forests, and the courage that allowed them to thrive in a world both beautiful and unforgiving. But, for now, just let the calm of this dawn settle over you, letting the air, the light, and the quietness of a time before the first cities carry you into their world. The first chapter of this journey begins in the quiet before dawn, where the world stretches in every direction, unbroken by walls, roads, or settlements. A place where survival and instinct rule, and every sound is a potential signal of danger or opportunity. Here, humans move with careful deliberation, scanning the horizon as the wind carries the sense of water, fire, and wild vegetation. And though the land seems serene, it is alive with predators, shifting weather, and the constant unpredictability of nature. Yet within this chaos, there is ingenuity, strategy, and community forming in ways that are astonishingly sophisticated. And I will reveal the secrets of these early adaptations gradually, teasing insights that may surprise you. Small groups huddle near streams, the sound of flowing water masking the soft rustle of prey moving through grass, and each step they take is measured, each gesture deliberate. For in this world, awareness can mean the difference between life and death, though what they observe, how they interpret signs, and how they respond to threats, holds lessons we are only now beginning to understand, and I will share some of these revelations shortly. Their tools are simple yet extraordinary. Flint knives, stone axes, bone awls, crafted with precision that speaks not only to survival but to emerging cognitive skills. And while many of these implements were designed to hunt or process food, some bear marks of experimentation, adaptation, even artistry, hints that human creativity was already at work, though certain tools have meanings I will keep for later, teasing their true genius. The hunt itself is a delicate choreography. Humans tracking, stalking, anticipating animal behavior, the tension rising as prey is spotted, the arrow drawn, the spear readied, the heart pounding with the thrill and fear of the encounter. Yet even in this primal moment, cooperation is key. Strategies are shared, roles defined, and communications silent but profound. A system of understanding that hints at the very earliest social organization, though some nuances of this coordination I will disclose only after revealing a few astonishing discoveries from the archaeological record. Meanwhile, foraging takes its own form of intelligence, requiring patience, memory, and knowledge passed down through observation and practice. Roots, seeds, tubers, and berries are gathered carefully, not randomly, and stored for times when hunting fails or seasons turn harsh. Yet some of the techniques they developed to preserve and process food reveal a level of sophistication that challenges modern assumptions. And later, I will tell you about a method that almost seems impossibly clever, for people without written records. Shelter is another form of ingenuity, ranging from temporary structures to cleverly selected natural caves, each adapted to provide protection from storms, predators, and the bitter cold of winter. And in these spaces, fire not only warms, but organizes life, marking places of gathering, planning, and possibly even ritual. Though the full meaning of these gatherings and the sparks of early culture that flicker within them will be explored in a moment you may not expect. Their relationships with the natural world are intimate, each season teaching them new lessons, each migration following patterns of prey or plant cycles. And though humans are vulnerable to the extremes of climate, their adaptability is striking. They improvise, innovate, and sometimes survive by sheer cunning. But there are moments where the environment exacts a heavy toll, evidence of which is written in bones and scars, stories that will emerge slowly as I peel back layers of this distant life. And yet, in the midst of struggle, there is discovery. Trails left by animals, marks on stone that may be symbols, traces of gatherings that hint at leadership, sharing, and memory, elements of culture in their infancy that foreshadow the structures, beliefs, and systems that will one day give rise to cities. Though I will save some of the most astonishing hints of these early social experiments for later, keeping their mystery alive, night brings a different rhythm. Shadows stretch, firelight flickers, predators prowl, and humans huddle, alert and reflective, listening to the wind and to each other, sometimes whispering stories, sometimes silent, yet always aware that the world is both wondrous and dangerous, a delicate balance that must be respected, navigated, and understood. And some of the lessons encoded in these nighttime practices will surprise you once fully revealed. Across rivers, plains, and forests, the constant movement of people, animals, and ideas creates an unseen web of connection and influence, a network of survival strategies, knowledge, and adaptation. And while many of the details of this network remain hidden in the archaeological record, some clues will emerge that hint at the astonishing ingenuity of humans long before cities, writing, or civilization. Secrets that I will disclose carefully, one revelation at a time, because each discovery carries weight and wonder. As dawn breaks, shadows recede, and life resumes its careful rhythm. The human groups of 10,000 BCE navigate a world that is both brutal and beautiful, improvising, learning, and connecting in ways that are only now coming into focus. And the full story of their resilience, strategy, and creativity will gradually unfold, layer by layer, keeping you on the edge of discovery as we begin to understand that these early humans were not merely surviving. They were laying the foundations of culture, intelligence, and community that will echo for millennia. Though some of the most remarkable secrets of their existence remain hidden for now, waiting for the right moment to astonish and inspire. As the day unfolds across the untamed landscapes, humans move with a rhythm honed by necessity and observation, tracing animal tracks, listening to the subtle changes in wind and foliage, learning to read a language written by the earth itself. And though the patterns may seem familiar, the depth of understanding these early humans possessed is something I will reveal gradually, because some of their insights will astonish even the most modern observer. Rivers are more than water. They are highways, sources of sustenance, and landmarks that guide migration, while mountains hold secrets of shelter and strategy, and forests conceal both danger and opportunity, a duality that shapes every decision made in this unforgiving yet magnificent world. Yet some of the most ingenious uses of these landscapes remain a mystery I will unveil in due course. Hunting continues to define the daily rhythm, but it is not a mindless pursuit. It is a sophisticated interplay of tracking, observation, timing, and cooperation, requiring patience that is almost meditative, yet razor-sharp in focus. And while many of the tactics were practical, some hint at knowledge of animal behavior that borders on intuition, a secret I will disclose shortly, though for now it remains suspended like a shadow over the plains. Foraging complements the hunt, and here too lies intelligence and subtle artistry. Roots must be identified, tubers harvested carefully, berries gathered in precise seasons, knowledge passed down through generations. sometimes encoded in gestures, or songs whose meaning I will reveal only later. And some of the preservation techniques hint at chemistry and experimentation, far beyond what most would expect from a time before formal science. Shelter is more than protection. It is a canvas for ingenuity, from rock overhangs to structures built with branches, reeds, and animal hides, each adapted to local conditions. Yet some spaces appear to hold symbolic significance, as if they were early theatres of ritual or storytelling, a revelation I will explore carefully in moments to come, because the traces left behind suggest a depth of human consciousness we are only beginning to grasp. Fire continues to shape life, providing warmth, light, and a centre for social interaction. Yet there is more than survival in its glow. Sparks of creative. In the forests and grasslands, humans observe the habits of animals, not only to hunt, but to understand patterns of movement, feeding and shelter, insights that inform decisions about when to move, where to settle, and how to survive. And some of the strategies they employed are so remarkable that I will reveal them later, keeping the suspense alive, because the cleverness encoded in these small choices is staggering. Water, wind, and weather dictate movement and survival. A sudden storm can wipe out a day's work. A shifting riverbank can force migration. Yet humans adapt, improvise, and thrive. And some of the adaptations they developed reveal early forms of engineering and planning that I will disclose gradually, teasing the ingenuity that prefigures later civilizations. Social bonds deepen through cooperation, conflict, and shared knowledge. And while modern eyes may underestimate the complexity of these networks, the evidence suggests early humans negotiated roles, communicated subtly, and coordinated in ways that anticipate the organization of communities. Though some aspects of this social intelligence remain hidden for now, a secret I will reveal in stages to heighten the intrigue. Nightfall brings its own lessons. Shadows stretch, predators move silently, and humans huddle close to firelight, exchanging knowledge, performing tasks, perhaps sharing stories or chants whose meaning is obscured but profound, a depth of symbolic thinking whose full import I will disclose only later, teasing the richness of early cognitive life. Across plains, rivers, and hills, humans leave traces, tools, footprints, markings, arrangements of stones that hint at understanding, foresight, and creativity. And while many of these signs have been pieced together by archaeologists, some remain enigmas, whispering secrets that will gradually unfold, revealing ingenuity, adaptability, and culture in a world we often imagine as raw and primitive. Even in moments of apparent calm, the rhythm of life pulses with tension. Predators circle, resources fluctuate, the climate shifts unexpectedly, yet humans navigate these challenges with a blend of caution and daring, intuition and observation, a delicate balance that sustains them. And some of the most astonishing survival strategies remain hidden in the record, waiting for their revelation. And so, as dawn turns to dusk and life continues its intricate dance, the humans of 10,000 BCE embody a mix of resilience, intelligence, and creativity that lays the foundation for culture, community, and civilization itself. Though I will save some of the most extraordinary revelations, the ones that challenge assumptions about early human life, for later, teasing them carefully so that each discovery feels like a window opening onto a past both familiar and astonishing. A world that teaches us that survival was only one part of their story, and ingenuity, connection, and adaptation were equally vital threads woven into the fabric of their lives. As seasons turn across the untamed landscapes, humans refine their understanding of the world around them, observing patterns in weather, animal migration, and plant growth with a precision that seems almost prophetic. And though many of these insights appear simple, the depth of knowledge they held is something I will unfold slowly, because some of their discoveries are astonishing, revealing strategies that echo into the very foundations of civilization. In these vast plains and dense forests, water is life, but it is also a challenge. Rivers swell unpredictably, springs dry seasonally, and yet humans navigate this shifting environment with skill, choosing campsites that balance safety, resources, and opportunity. And some of the choices they made are encoded in the traces of footprints, fire pits, and stone arrangements, hints of planning and foresight, whose full significance I will disclose later, teasing their subtle genius. The hunt has evolved into an art form. Humans track, stalk, and anticipate prey using signals from the environment, communicating silently through gestures and sounds. A choreography that is both instinctual and intelligent, yet some of the tactics employed are so clever that they challenge modern assumptions about prehistoric life, a revelation I will share in due time, keeping you on the edge of discovery. Gathering and foraging continue to be vital, but they are also exercises in observation, memory, and creativity. Knowing when and where certain plants grow, how to process and store them, which combinations of roots, seeds, and tubers provide optimal nutrition, all of this knowledge is passed from one generation to the next, sometimes through storytelling or ritual, though some of these lessons are hidden in marks on stones, subtle arrangements of natural materials, or in patterns of fire placement, secrets I will reveal only later, hinting at the depth of early human intelligence. Shelter is no longer purely functional. It reflects adaptation and ingenuity, with structures carefully designed to withstand storms, provide warmth, and protect against predators. Yet some spaces suggest early forms of symbolic expression, perhaps even ceremonial use, hints of cognitive and cultural development that I will tease gradually, allowing the mystery to build before full disclosure. Fire continues to shape life, not just as warmth and protection, but as a center for learning and socialization. Around its glow, humans sharpen tools, prepare food, share knowledge, and perhaps even perform the earliest forms of art, traces of which will be revealed piece by piece, some so extraordinary that they almost seem to foreshadow human creativity across millennia. Their relationships with animals extend beyond hunting, observing behavior, understanding territories, and in some cases, developing methods that manipulate animal movement for hunting or protection, strategies whose cleverness I will disclose later, keeping you suspended in anticipation. Seasonal migration dictates movement, survival, and interaction with other groups, creating networks of information, trade, and cooperation. Though some of the patterns of these networks remain hidden, clues scattered across campsites and artifacts that hint at early social complexity, which I will unravel carefully in upcoming revelations. Even in moments of apparent rest, humans are learning, tracking, planning, and experimenting, testing tools, and observing natural phenomena, insights recorded not on paper, but in memory and action, subtle innovations that form a foundation for future technologies, some of which I will reveal gradually, teasing their brilliance. Nightfall brings reflection and vigilance. The flicker of firelight illuminates gatherings where knowledge is passed, plans are made, and traditions begin to form. Yet some aspects of these nocturnal interactions are mysterious, hints of early, symbolic thought and culture whose meaning will only be fully disclosed later, keeping the suspense alive. Across rivers, plains and forests, humans leave signs of intelligence and adaptation. Carefully crafted tools, evidence of controlled fire, patterns of movement, and traces of cooperative activity, each whispering secrets about foresight, ingenuity, and the emergence of culture. Yet some of the most remarkable signs remain elusive, to be revealed at the right moment, adding layers of intrigue and wonder to our understanding of life before the first cities. The balance between survival, creativity, and social cohesion is delicate, as every decision carries consequences. Yet humans manage this interplay with skill that rivals modern strategy. And some of their techniques, the ways they managed risk, resources, and cooperation, will be disclosed later, challenging assumptions and revealing the sophistication of these early societies. As dawn once again brushes the plains with light, the humans of 10,000 BCE move forward. Hunters, foragers, innovators, teachers, and learners, navigating a world of beauty and danger, leaving traces of intelligence, creativity, and culture that are only now being understood. And while many of their secrets remain hidden, some will soon emerge to astonish, inspire, and change the way we see our distant ancestors, proving that life before cities was far richer, more intricate, and more profound than we could ever imagine. Though a few of the most extraordinary revelations are still waiting, like a shadow just beyond sight, to unfold at the perfect moment, keeping us suspended between wonder and discovery. The rhythm of life in 10,000 BCE carries a subtle intensity as humans negotiate a world that is at once generous and unforgiving, where every decision, when to move, what to eat, where to hunt, how to build shelter, can mean survival or loss. And though much of this ancient knowledge seems lost to time, fragments remain in stone tools, fire pits, and the traces of footprints that speak volumes, though some of the most astonishing clues I will reveal only gradually, keeping the mystery alive. The landscape itself dictates movement and behavior. Rivers that flood and recede, forests that hide predators and resources, mountains that provide vantage and refuge, and humans navigate this terrain with a blend of observation, intuition, and creativity. Yet some of the ways they read and manipulated their environment are subtle to the point of genius, secrets that will emerge in moments that may surprise even the keenest observer. Hunting has evolved into a carefully orchestrated strategy, a silent dialogue with prey, using knowledge of migration, feeding patterns, and terrain. Yet some tactics remain enigmatic, hints of a cognitive sophistication that we are only beginning to appreciate, and I will disclose the most astonishing of these methods later, teasing the brilliance behind them. Foraging, too, is no longer merely survival. It reflects planning, memory, experimentation, and perhaps saving others for moments that will heighten suspense and wonder. Shelter is crafted not only for protection, but for adaptability. Some structures strategically aligned with sun, wind, and seasonal patterns, suggesting a profound understanding of environment and human comfort, while some spaces may have served symbolic or communal purposes. Subtle rituals embedded in construction, whose full meaning I will disclose gradually, letting anticipation build. Fire remains the focal point, a center of life, learning, and community. Sparks illuminate faces, shadows dance across tools and natural formations, and early humans experiment with cooking, preservation, and even early forms of symbolic expression, hints of creativity that foreshadow culture. Though some of the most revealing traces of this creativity will be disclosed only later, teasing their full significance. Relationships with animals extend beyond hunting. Observation, tracking, and even early manipulation of behavior show intelligence that borders on strategy, and some of these methods are so sophisticated that revealing them now would spoil the suspense. Yet each will unfold in time to deepen our understanding of pre-civilization ingenuity. Social bonds solidify around shared tasks, knowledge transfer, and mutual protection. Cooperation and communication are nuanced, sometimes subtle, but essential, hinting at the earliest forms of social structure. Yet I will disclose some of the most remarkable evidence of coordination later, teasing the complexity of early human networks. Night brings reflection, learning, and vigilance. Humans gather near firelight, perform tasks, share observations, perhaps even stories, whose symbolism we are only beginning to decode. And some of the most profound insights into early culture and cognition will emerge only gradually, keeping suspense alive. Across landscapes, from plains to rivers to forested valleys, humans leave traces of ingenuity and foresight. Tools shaped with skill, strategic camp placement, preserved food, and subtle markers of cooperation, each whispering lessons in survival, adaptation, and intelligence. Yet some of the most remarkable clues are hidden, to be revealed at moments that will astonish and inspire. Balance defines life. Risk and reward, caution and daring, movement and settlement. And humans manage this balance with a sophistication that surprises modern eyes. Some strategies so clever that I will disclose them slowly, heightening suspense while revealing the depth of early human knowledge. Dawn again marks continuity, as humans traverse a world filled with both challenge and opportunity, navigating complexity, mastering survival, experimenting with tools and strategies. and leaving behind traces that hint at the earliest stirrings of culture, intelligence, and community. And while many of their secrets remain buried in time, some will soon emerge to illuminate the extraordinary ingenuity and resilience of people who lived millennia before cities, civilization, and writing, revealing a world that is richer, more complex, and more astonishing than we ever realized. Yet a few of the most extraordinary discoveries remain hidden still, waiting for the perfect moment to astonish and inspire, to complete the story that has been unfolding slowly, teasing the edge of revelation, keeping us suspended between wonder and discovery as the final veil of prehistory draws across the landscapes of 10,000 BCE. Humans continue to navigate a world both wondrous and perilous, their lives a delicate choreography of observation, intuition, and daring. And though much of their story has been lost to time, fragments of it whisper through tools, fire pits, and the subtle arrangements of stones and shelters, hints of foresight, strategy, and creativity that I will gradually reveal, teasing the ingenuity that underpins every choice. The hunt remains a central narrative, but it is far from simple. Tracking, predicting, and coordinating with others involves a level of sophistication that challenges modern assumptions, and some of the most ingenious strategies will be disclosed later, teasing their brilliance like a secret waiting to be unveiled. Gathering and foraging are no longer merely survival tactics. They become exercises in knowledge, memory, and experimentation. As humans identify edible plants, manage seasonal resources, and develop preservation techniques that verge on early science, yet a few of the most extraordinary innovations remain, hidden for now, their full significance revealed only at the precise moment to heighten suspense and awe. Shelter, fire, and communal spaces take on layers of meaning, balancing utility with social cohesion, signaling early forms of culture, ritual, and expression, hints of symbolic thinking that will be gradually disclosed, allowing the story to unfold with tension and wonder. Firelight illuminates faces, tools, and gatherings, suggesting creativity and social learning that foreshadow the rise of culture, though some of the most revealing traces are still veiled, to be revealed when the timing is perfect. Human relationships extend beyond survival. Cooperation, communication, and shared knowledge form networks of intelligence that hint at early social organization. Yet some of the most remarkable evidence of these networks remains concealed, whispering secrets I will reveal slowly, keeping suspense alive while expanding our understanding of their sophistication. Nightfall continues to be a teacher, as early humans observe stars, track animals, and refine strategies for the days ahead, blending caution, ingenuity, and daring, and some of the methods they developed for risk, resource management, and coordination are so extraordinary that I will disclose them only gradually, teasing the depths of pre-civilization cognition. Across rivers, mountains, and forests, the traces they leave reveal foresight, creativity, and adaptability, yet some clues remain enigmatic, hiding lessons in survival and social intelligence that will astonish when revealed, making the world of 10,000 BCE not only a place of struggle, but of subtle mastery over the environment. The balance of life between danger and opportunity, risk and reward, movement and settlement, is a thread woven throughout their existence, and humans manage it with sophistication that surprises even the modern eye. Hints of strategies and insights I will disclose carefully, keeping anticipation high while demonstrating their ingenuity. As dawn rises over plains, rivers, and forests once more, these early humans traverse the landscape with purpose, intelligence, and subtle artistry, leaving behind a tapestry of survival, adaptation, and early culture, some threads visible to the archaeologist, some hidden, waiting for the right moment of revelation, teasing the depth of ingenuity and resilience that defined life before the first cities. Their story is one of creativity, community, and intelligence, a delicate balance of survival and innovation. Yet some of the most extraordinary elements, the insights that prefigure civilization, the strategies that reveal early engineering, the social complexity that foreshadows organized communities, remain concealed, whispering promises of revelation that will astonish, challenge, and inspire. And I will share these secrets as we move to the conclusion. In this final glimpse into life before cities, the humans of 10,000 BCE emerged not merely as survivors, but as innovators, observers, teachers, learners, and creators, leaving traces that hint at the extraordinary richness of pre-civilization existence. And while many secrets remain hidden, the ones revealed illuminate a world far more complex, beautiful, and ingenious than most ever imagine, setting the stage for the rise of civilizations to come, and proving that the roots of human ingenuity, community, and creativity run far deeper than any city or monument ever built. As the echoes of 10,000 BCE fade into the mists of time, one truth becomes clear. Life before cities was not simple, nor was it merely survival. It was a world alive with ingenuity, subtle strategy, and quiet brilliance, where humans read the land as carefully as a book, communicated without words, and shaped their environment with a skill that still astonishes today. Every tool, every fire pit, every carefully chosen campsite speaks to foresight and creativity. Every trace of movement, every arrangement of stones or shelters whispers lessons in cooperation, adaptation, and social intelligence that would form the very foundations of civilization. Though some of the most remarkable secrets remain hidden, teasing us from the past. This was a time when humans were not just observers of the world. They were participants, innovators, and artists in the grand theater of survival, blending risk, caution, and imagination to thrive in landscapes that were beautiful, yet unforgiving. From the smallest seed stored for winter to the complex choreography of a hunt, from communal gatherings around firelight to the subtle expressions of early symbolic thought, every action reveals layers of knowledge, culture, and ingenuity, evidence that human creativity stretches far deeper than any city or monument ever built. And while we can only glimpse fragments of their lives, those fragments shine with brilliance, reminding us that the roots of human civilization are ancient, resilient, and extraordinary. The humans of 10,000 BCE navigated a world of wonder and danger with intelligence, courage, and grace, leaving behind a legacy not of buildings, but of ideas, strategies, and the indomitable spirit of innovation.